Okay. Okay, I think. Is this recording? Alright, okay, I'm trying to do this here. Hi guys, so I decided to make a video explaining kind of what happened yesterday, and explaining my status, of today. Basically, what happened was, we have this thing called the Metro bus here in Mexico City. It goes like, it's a bus, but it stops like a metro at regular stations. And at each station, there is like doors where you go in. It's on a platform of about my height standing up. So if you can imagine, I am kind of short. I'm about 5'3" or something. So, we were on our way to, me and my mom, we were on our way to pick up some documents that I wanted to have translated so that on Monday I can start the process for revalidation of my high school. Doing a video explaining what happened yesterday. With myself? No. He's gonna be in my video. So, we were on our way to get my papers. I just said that. Okay. So, then they call me, and there was a ton of traffic. Tons of traffic. And we were running really, really late. I had like 15 minutes to get there. And it was on the other side of the city. In the north, we live in the south. So, they call me, and they're like, where are you? We're waiting for you. We need to give you your papers. And I was just like, well, you know what? I don't think I'm going to make it. So, let's just pick them up on Monday. Anyways, to make a long story short, on that phone call, the man that I talked to who translated my documents was extremely rude, and he really got me pretty upset. I was pretty angry. First of all, there was a ton of people on the bus. It was packed, cram-packed, and because it was rush hour, and there was just way too many people on the bus. So I'm frustrated because now I can't get my documents. I can't do what I wanted to do on Monday now because I have to go pick up the papers on Monday instead of yesterday. So basically, I asked my mom what we should do, and she said, well, let's get off the bus and go back home. So we get up, and we cannot get off the bus for literally 5 more stations. We were waiting and trying to get through people, and people wouldn't move. Nobody could move anywhere because there was no space. So that made me even more frustrated and ticked off at people. I was in a really bad mood yesterday. So, then what happened? We got off the bus 5 stations later, and so then we go to the other side of the station to take the bus going the other direction back to here where we live. So, we were waiting at the wrong, entrance, first of all. And I was telling my mom, I really don't want to get on the bus right now. I just want to calm down because I feel like I'm going to eat somebody's head off. I was just really angry, and I'm ashamed to say that, but I was very upset about everything, and I had a really bad attitude. So, she was like, no, I don't want to wait because it's not going to change anything, just waiting. It's going to be the same in an hour or 2 hours. It's still going to be a lot of people on the bus. So then we realized that we were at the wrong entrance because there's like these doors and openings in the station on the platform where the bus pulls up. It comes down and it pulls up and it lines up with the according opening to open the doors and let people out and let people in. So, some buses have 3 sections, and most of them have 2, but we didn't realize that. We were on the one for 3 sections because it was the first entrance. So, one bus passes, and we miss it, and I realize we're at the wrong entrance, so we walk over to the next entrance, which is about, like, 2 meters, 3 meters away from the one that we were at. So, we get to the next entrance, and we're waiting for the bus, and we missed the one, and a second one, because there was way too many people. So finally, we are the first ones on the platform, on the edge. We're standing like right here, if this is the edge of the platform, and then it drops off about my height, 5 feet down, and then that's the street. So, we're just waiting for the bus, and the doors open on the next bus that comes, we're waiting to get on, and there's tons of people, and people are pushing, people are being like really annoyed, and everybody's just frustrated because it's the end of the workday and everybody wants to get home. Well, at the end of all the people who come off the bus and we're waiting to get on, there's an older lady with her son, and he was probably about 20 so years old, and she was holding her hand. We didn't realize this at the time, but the young man, he was both blind and deaf because he was wearing hearing aids, and we realized he couldn't see. So she's helping him get off, and it's in the commotion, someone pushed him. And usually, when the bus drives up next to the platform, there's about a gap, literally, of this much space between where the bus doors open, and then it drops down 5 feet, and then there's a platform right here. So this bus, however, drove up and left a gap of about the space of a foot, and so there was a lot more space. There's about double the space that there normally is between the platform and the bus. So this kid, he was shuffling his feet as he got off. Someone pushed him, and people were trying to get on, kind of moved him out of the way, and he fell 5 feet down into that gap. Well, he didn't fall all the way. He fell about halfway down, so like 3.5 feet or something. And we were just standing there, my mom and I, and we were just like, first of all, we were in shock because it was like, what just happened? This kid just like fell between the bus, and we were like, oh my goodness, you know. And so then people were just kind of staring, and there was like maybe 15 people to 20 people that were like right next to this guy. And his mom is pulling him up, and she's like, mi hijo, which means my son, and she couldn't get him out. Obviously, she's about 50 or so, 55 years old. And so then I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid is between the bus and he's between the platform, and if the bus takes off, he's going to get crushed between the wall and the bus. And then he starts whimpering between in this gap that he's in, and nobody was doing anything. And I was so, it's crazy to think that people don't care, you know, and won't take action to save somebody's life. So I grabbed one of his hands with my free hand that I had. I had a bunch of stuff in my other hand, and I start yanking on his arm to try to get him out, and some other person was starting to help on the other side as well. So then the doors, when they shut, they have this like beep sound when they're gonna shut, and then you have 5 seconds to get out of the way of the doors, and the doors shut, and then the bus takes off. So they start beeping, the sound starts beeping, and I almost entered into a panic because I'm like, this kid has 5 seconds to get out, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get him out. So I start yelling, alto, alto, at the top of my lungs, and everybody else started yelling that at the same time, because they realized this kid is not going to be able to get out. But the beeping was still going on, and then the doors started kind of shutting, and somebody was holding them open or something. And so then, at the top of my lungs, I yelled to the passengers, to people that were, you know, closer to the driver's side of things. I said, tell the conductor, tell the driver to stop and to hold on. And what I think happened at that point is kind of blurry, but because I was kind of just focusing on this kid trying to get him out. I think the policeman heard me yell that because I was on the outside of the bus, and I think he heard the general commotion of people yelling stop. And so what he did is he went up to the driver and told him to hold on, and he came down to the first door, and he saw this kid right there. Well, right when the police came, we were able to kind of pull him out from that gap, and he was just like laying on his back and whimpering and crying and really, really scared. We realized he had some kind of mental deficiency, as well as not being able to see and not being able to hear. But he was okay. He was not hurt in any way. So when they realized that he was okay, I think somebody told the driver it was okay to leave, and he shut the doors and they left. And we're just like standing there, and all these thoughts are going through my head. I was shaking, you know, and when the next bus came up, we got on that bus and we went home. And on the way home, I was just thinking about everything that had happened and how angry I had been and how trivial the whole thing was, of me getting upset because I wasn't able to do what I wanted, and you know, it was just so selfish of the way that I was thinking. And if nothing, like if my appointment hadn't gotten canceled, I wouldn't have been there. And if it hadn't been super packed, I wouldn't have gotten off 5 stations later to be there. And if I hadn't been at the wrong entrance at the beginning, I wouldn't have been at the entrance where that kid was, to be able to pull him up and be able to yell to the driver to stop. That kid could have died yesterday. And if he hadn't died, he probably would have been really, really hurt. So I am so happy. I'm so excited. I decided to make this into a video because it's kind of long and just easier, and I'm amazed. I'm amazed that God uses ordinary people to carry out what He wants to have done, even when we have bad attitudes, even when we don't understand why things don't go our way, you know. I don't believe that was a coincidence. I believe it was God's hand moving everything to come to that moment. So, yeah. Maybe I'll do more updates of videos and stuff that happens on the mission field in Mexico City. If you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. But anyways, have an awesome Saturday. We're about to go get stuff done for the youth group today, and hope to see all you guys soon.